You said yesterday this was a transitional project of sorts, and through this conversation I'm kind of learning some of the signposts along the way, but the destination isn't yet clear or targeted, and that doesn't really matter, does it? We don't need to know where we're going, essentially.
Nope.
But you're going to keep doing it, right? I mean, this is the first, tomorrow night show's the North American premiere, but border music will evolve and go places along the way. Will it?
We'll be back.
This is Mark's first time in Austin playing. It doesn't make any sense to me.
When you take a form like the one you just played, La Pistola y el Corazón, and then there's a song of yours on Kiko called Saint Behind the Glass, is it a conscious thing where, wow, we should take this stuff we grew up on and then mix it in, or did that just happen in the studio in some kind of organic way? Saint Behind the Glass.
Well, I think it came, well, we learned, we spent years just trying to learn the traditional stuff, you know, going around trying to find, you know, all the different styles and different, all the, you know, back then you could go to the drugstore and they had a rack of records, and like 99-cent records, they were all the real stuff, you know. So, you know, we'd study, grab all these old albums and look and try to listen to, try to learn everything that we could about the music. So when we started doing more of the rock and roll stuff, it took a little while to get the courage to try to combine what we learned, and it started to just seep into the writing, you know, and so it worked out, I guess.
Yeah, it worked out. Yeah. Thank you for that. And it's an influence. We were talking yesterday again about a thin line between love and theft. I think it is aired on the side of love, though.
Yeah.
But Mark, when I hear your music and some of the things you contributed, say, to Tom Waits' records, and help me here, where the hell did those sounds come from? It's not like I'm listening and going, oh, there's a little bit of Freddie King there, oh, there's a little bit of tradition, you know, they just seem like your own creation that has no precedent.
Well, actually, it was a little bit of Freddie King, only I did it wrong.
Well, you have to know the rules to break them, you know.
Well, maybe. Let's just say misreading.
I'm curious about both of your contributions to other people's records. I want to kind of shift to that a bit. We're talking about Rain Dogs a moment ago, which was the 1985 record, which was the first time you worked with Tom. And then, you know, there's a Latin feel in there, like Jockey Full of Bourbon, or Tango Till They're Sore. So I guess I do hear kind of a little bit of a precedent there. But when you're serving another artist's vision, do you, like, I'll just ask specifically about Mr. Waits. Is he very specific to you about what he wants in a song, or is it sort of like, Mark, here's the chords and this is where we're going and have at it?
Well, I mean, I'm sure David will have some things to say about this too, but sometimes, I mean, whether he talks about it or not, like his songs are like little plays, you know, like little TV serials or something like that. And so I listen a lot to the lyrics and the vibe that he's trying to get. Each one of them feels like a different place, and I just try to fit into that place. And some of them are very weird places.
Well, you must be a weird guy, because you fit in, is what I'm saying. You managed to fill these places with things that were essential to the song. Now when we think of those songs, it's impossible to think of them being done without your parts.
For better or worse.
One time, you know, I was playing violin or something, and his direction was, he says, think inbred.
How'd that work?
He didn't use it after all.
I mentioned Doug Sahm a little earlier.
I don't know if I did a good job or not.
I mentioned Doug Somm earlier, and David, you worked on Bob Dylan's last record, Together Through Life, which he said in Rolling Stone magazine was essentially a tribute to the Sir Douglas Quintet in his mind. When you went in to record that record with an amazing band that also included Mike Campbell, did Bob Dylan have a thing to say to you, like, I like Los Lobos, I want to make this record a certain way, or was it just like, have at it?
It was just, you know, well, he just came the first day, he just ran it down. Says, you know, we're gonna do this. It was music for a movie. And it says it's going to be based on, you know, blues-based stuff. We'll listen, you know, have templates, you know, listen to old records and kind of just to try to find a direction and then go from there. And it was all live and you know, one mic in the room, and that was pretty. That's all he said. And but he liked the music so much, he said, you know, hell with the film. That's going to be my next album. You know, that's why I heard it from him anyway.
And you played accordion on that record as well. Was that his idea or your idea?
Yeah, he wanted accordion, so I played a lot of accordion.
I'm trying to imagine when he said, "Hey David, that was great. I want to make a Christmas record now."
I didn't know it was a Christmas record.
The one that came out.
Yeah. They just showed up like with my accordion. And he starts doing Silver Bells. And I'm like, wow, what a kid. All right. I better find something else to play.
I can't imagine.
That was a great experience. I got to play next to Phil Upchurch. He was the guitarist on that session, so that was learned a lot from just sitting next to him. You know?
Mark, you've worked a lot with producer Tbone Burnett over the years, and your guitar playing was so essential to the album that Robert Plant and Alison Krauss did, which won 5 Grammy Awards and is one of the great records of the last few decades as well. When you went in there and you were working on that, how is Tbone in terms of, is he dictatorial, is he loose, and plus you know him for a long time?
He was there.
It was there. Ooh.
The project was unusual in that regard, but no, Tbone is not dictatorial, and I'll say that that he has, I would say, a kind of a Zen attitude towards producing, which means that, you know, like sometimes, you know, oftentimes saying nothing, sometimes even going to sleep can be exactly the right thing to do.
But not as hands-off as perhaps Paul Simon was during the Graceland sessions, where I know it's become a bit of a controversy over the years in the press that he kind of let you guys in there and kind of, and this is what I've gleaned from what I've read, so you can correct me please, that it was kind of like, Los Lobos, do what you do. And then he wrote some lyrics and turned it into a song, and it was a Paul Simon composition.
Exactly, that's what happened. You got it. I'm waiting for my monies, man. That's right.
I have to say, though, in all seriousness, on the Raising Sand record, Tbone was very much involved, and you know was paying close attention and coming up with a lot of ideas. That, you know, we went through a lot of material on that record before we settled on the tunes that were there, and he was very involved in the process.
Tbone was really good at casting. He'll cast a band for certain songs. I mean, he has a good. He's very talented in that way.
He produced By the Light of the Moon, right? I think.
The first three, the EP, By the Light of the Moon, and was it?
Was it The Neighborhood?
We'll Survive and Light of the Moon. Yeah.
Well, there was a gentleman yesterday from England, Mark, who posed a question to you about, you know, do you have any idea when you're making the music, essentially how it would affect people? He was from England, and the music changed his life, and when we're talking about records like Kiko or Raising Sand or Rain Dogs or so many records that you've both worked on, they have changed our lives and become part of the soundtrack and fabric to our lives, and thank you both. Appreciate it. It's really good.
man.